Hello, this is John, and we are here to read the one-year Bible and reflect on it. And this is,
Barbara Vasquez.
and we've just read the scripture together, like many of you, and we're going to share just some thoughts and reflections um, as best we can from this passage. Um, Barbara, I was wondering, have you ever had anyone because they thought they knew you like when you were little, like underestimate who you were and what you could do?
um, Underestimate me?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I can't think of it.
Yeah. I mean, I know
I,
I have. I mean, and here in this story, Jesus is being really seriously underestimated. I mean, they're too familiar with him. They're like, we know him. He grew up on our block, and yeah, we knew his dad too, and that kind of thing. It's like, ah, why are we listening to him?
yeah.
I mean, it is annoying when we have something important to say, and for me at least, sometimes my own family, listen to me. I have some wisdom. I think every young person feels that somehow there's times in which the adults in their world maybe they could listen to something that they have
Mm-hmm.
to say. And here, I think Jesus is just acknowledging this human dynamic. You know, you know, if somebody makes something of their life, it's the people who are the slowest to accept the reality of that, are often the people that think that watch them grow up. People from their own hometown, their relatives, their own family. Hmm. Any other thoughts about that first part?
The first part. I'm not really sure.
This first part when Jesus was rejected at Nazareth.
No, it seems pretty common. Like, I don't know, growing up in a church that everyone knows every verse, we just take it lightly of the word and his grace. Um, I don't know, just we take Jesus for granted sometimes.
Hmm.
And when we know him really well. Well, we think we know him really well because we read his word and, well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another way in which, if we're too familiar with something, sometimes we miss the
Mm-hmm.
reality of it. Yeah, that's really insightful. Now, Jesus then has his disciples go and do what he's been doing. He's been showing them, it's kind of like show and tell,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sends them out to do the same things that he did. What do you think about that?
Um,
Anything you notice about the process or
I need to read it again.
yeah, that's a
um,
good thing to do is always to look back at the scriptures and see what's there. Why do you think he told them not to take uh, anything but a walking stick? No food, no traveler's bag, no money.
yeah, to humble themselves and like teach them how to get what they want without anything in hand. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah. If they're humble, people are probably going to be more receptive
Uh huh.
on one hand. And on the other hand, they also have to rely on God and rely on the people that they're sharing with.
Mm.
They're not coming. You see, this is just the opposite of Rome. Rome came and took over. They said, "You're going to be like us. We're going to make you like us." And Rome would force Greco-Roman culture on any place that they went through military force. But God doesn't come in like that into our lives. And he was trying to show a model here that if you're going to share the gospel of the kingdom, can you force people to accept it?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will.
Yeah, so you actually let people,
Mm-hmm.
um, in fact, here it says, at the end, if they're not listening to you, just shake the dust from your feet and leave and let people suffer their own consequences of their own choices.
Mm-hmm.
That's give people their freedom. They're free. Hmm. And then you have this drama, this long drama. And then we were talking earlier, it's like, this is like a novella. I mean, could you see like a movie made out of this thing? This is like a movie or even a horror movie, here you are, you're waiting in prison and you're John, and then, here comes this lady dancing, in front of all these folks, you know, kind of like Lady Gaga or whatever, you know, and then, you know, there's this really dark, evil request. So what do you want?
From Herod.
Yeah, from Herod. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
says, I want the head of John the Baptist on a platter. Have you ever encountered people with that kind of darkness going on? Like inside of them, that kind of evil intent.
Chopping off someone's head.
Yeah, but it's not the it's the it's that kind of dark evil inside of a person
Mm.
that just was willing to go and do whatever they could do to accomplish what they think they want.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it.
yeah. I mean, I know I've encountered that kind of evil.
I have to.
You know.
In a church.
Now that's deep. That's deep. When you see that kind of evil in the church itself,
Probably it's not evil, but it seems like because people have like a title in church and they abuse it. It's not evil. It's just like
well, there's the old saying, power corrupts,
mm-hmm.
and absolute power can corrupt absolutely. You know, if you are taking the position of a servant, then you're not lording over people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
I don't know. I'm just,
It anytime anyone encounters this kind of evil, like there's a drive-by. Somebody is willing to drive in a car and pull a gun, shoot a gun at somebody that they hardly even know. I mean, there's all sorts of things like that go on in our cities. Is different kinds of realities that are just harsh and dark and difficult. And you know, here it's reported in the Bible. This we're not talking about you know. Did you see Nightmare on Elm Street? We're talking about this is like talking about the realities that are witnessed by human beings. It hurts. Hey, I just want to say a shout out to everyone out there. If you've ever hurt, um, God knows how dark and evil this world can get. You want to say a shout out to people?
Oh no. um, just don't let the world's evil confuse you of what Jesus really has to offer. Yeah.
Thanks. Keep up with us. One day at a time.